Hey there, fellow wanderers. Picture yourself shrouded in the dusky twilight of ancient China. The sun dips behind jagged mountains, casting long, eerie shadows over uneven terrain. Around you, hundreds of workers and guards toil in silence, the air thick with the tang of salted sweat and churned earth. The clatter of chisels and groans of stone echo against the hills. Somewhere, distant war drums rumble, a grim reminder of why you're here. The Great Wall is no fairy tale. It snakes across mountains, deserts, forestless a wall, more a beast of stone and ambition. With every stone you lift, you feel the weight of an empire and the burden of being utterly expendable. And truth be told, you probably won't survive this. So, before we dive deeper, I ask only this. If this kind of raw, unvarnished truth speaks to you, click like, hit subscribe, and leave a trace of yourself in the comments. Tell me your city, your time, your state of mind. Now, dim the lights. Let the hum of your fan blend with the wind of centuries past. Let's begin. And remember, in ancient times, even survival was a luxury. It starts simply enough. You might be a farmer from a distant village, a soldier plucked from a battlefield, or perhaps a prisoner deemed more useful for your labor than your crimes. Drafted into service under the central edict of cohesion and defense, the wall's purpose transcends its mere stone sits, a physical manifestation of imperial power and the unyielding will to protect from northern invaders like the Mongols. But for you, it means back-breaking labor from dawn till dusk. The reality of the journey hits as soon as you cross the threshold of your home, most likely never to return. Historians still argue whether the enormity of the wall's purpose was fully understood by its builders. Did they grasp the historical significance, or was it just another grueling task at the mercy of distant rulers? Your thoughts wander to what awaits, slowly accepting the unknown fate that lies ahead. You're thrust into an eclectic, teeming mix of humanity upon your arrival at the construction site. The smell of unfamiliar foods, incense meant to cleanse the energies of a cursed ground, wafts by. It's cool now, but you know that soon the sun will beat relentlessly at your back, each stone lifted and placed inching you closer to exhaustion. There's a quiet beauty in the surrounding hills, a deceptive calm that belies the frenzy of coordinated efforts to tame this wild land with an endless border. The stories of the wall's construction are steeped in hard truths. Under the orders of various dynasties, efforts such as these often spring from both a deep-seated paranoia and visionary foresight. As you toil, it becomes apparent that you are more than a mere laborer. Perhaps you're a symbol of defiant seer, living promise that your nation stands against its foes. And here lies a humorous paradox. The irony of building a structure meant to keep out outsiders when so many outsiders played roles in its construction. This embodiment of national defense was born of diverse, interwoven identities, each contributing a fragment to the immense stone snake slithering across the landscape. Amidst the labor, you'll find camaraderie among fellow workers. Occasionally, you might share a laugh over some trivial observation or bizarre event, like the stories of Crocodile-Dung Sunscreen that persisted through the ages, reminder that people have always found odd ways to cope with harsh environments. These moments are rare, fleeting glimpses of humanity in a sea of toil and sacrifice. Darkness finally creeps in as the day ends, and you huddle close to the warmth of evening fires. The flames flicker, casting playful shadows and igniting tired eyes. Conversations soften as if whispered secrets to the ages, black silhouettes thrown against the stone walls like the ghosts of workers past. Around you, whispers dance on the breeze, sharing tales of soldiering on despite the odds, of individuals like yourself hidden beneath layers of history, braving what seems unbearable. Somewhere, not too far, the calls of night creatures echo reminders of the ever-present nature poised to reclaim its domain should your vigilance falter. This sense of connection with the raw, untamed world around you is undeniable, yet unnerving. But for now, these sounds become your lullaby, rocking the labor-weary soul into fitful bouts of sleep. Let your mind linger here as this journey begins, recognizing that the path of the past intertwines with your senses, allowing the ghostly flow of history to cradle you. Feel the whisper of the wind as it carries tales of ancient China, letting each tale wrap around you, lulling you ever closer to the realm of dreams, where your adventure can truly take flight. The first light of dawn peeks over the horizon, bathing the ancient land in muted golds and pinks, the chilly air carrying the scent of dew-dampened earth. As you stir, surrounded by a slowly waking mass of fellow laborers, the true scale of what lies ahead begins to crystallize. This is the terrain you've come to conquer. Perhaps it will conquer you. Either way, the day ahead promises a duel between humanity and nature. Your feet hit the solid ground cold, stubborn, unyielding, far cry from the soft soils of home. Here, ancient mountains loom, their jagged silhouettes etched against the morning sky. They are both your adversary and your ally, forming the backbone along which the Great Wall of China snakes its tortuous path. The terrain tests every ounce of your resolve. One moment you're clambering up a steep, rocky slope. The next you're wading through a dense forest, where each twisted root seems determined to trip up the uncareful step. Then come the barren plains, wide and unending, stretching so far that the horizon blurs into nothingness, making you feel small and insignificant against the boundless expanse. Historians still argue whether this harsh and varied landscape was chosen strategically to follow the natural contours of the land, or whether it was simply the path of least resistance. One thing, however, is certain. Building a wall in this environment is no small feat. The challenge doesn't just lie in the gathering of stones and the laying of bricks, but in the relentless confrontation with nature itself. As the sun rises higher, the temperature climbs, turning the chill to a dry, relentless heat. It presses down on you like a heavy mantle, flattening all energy and resistance. The air shimmers, and the landscape warps into a mirage of wavering illusions. You wonder how it is even possible to continue, yet somehow your feet keep moving, compelled by some distant echo of survival's drumbeat. You can hear the cautious jokes circulating among workers. How the mountains look like a dragon's back, or how, by the end of the shift, we'll all have the legs of mountain goats. Such humor might be meager, but it's the thread that ties you to those around you, suspending belief just long enough to endure another day's labor. In these moments, another thought nudges you, the knowledge that beneath the surface beauty lies a hidden danger. Once, when resting for a brief lunch-if, you can call a bit of hard bread and thin soup. Lunch you might spy something unexpected, a movement, something small and subtle, a snake slithering silently between two nearby stones, or perhaps a menacing scorpion disturbed from its rocky shelter. The land, ever alive and untamed, reminds you that it doesn't yield easily. Yet, you're not without ingenuity. Remember that Crocodile-Dung Sunscreen? Here in the fierce terrain, you too must become resourceful. Your makeshift visor, hastily fashioned from woven grass, offers just the hint of relief from the glaring sun, a small nod to the human spirit's ceaseless adaptability. The evening brings with it a descending golden light that transforms the harsh day into a landscape splashed with warm colors, the earth finally at peace again. Your bones are weary. Yet there's something else connection to these surroundings that builds as each day passes. As the chatter around camp grows and fades with the oscillating crackle of campfires, your thoughts trail away. Above, the sky is an ink-black sea, spattered with cold stars, eerily clear against the mountainous backdrop. You wonder how many before you gazed at this same sky, drawing perhaps the same fleeting sense of unity across generations. For a brief moment, the magnificent stubbornness of the Great Wall seems poetic, a long, undulating thread of persistence, weaving through time and space. Creating it has made you not just a witness to history, but a participant in an ancient, ongoing symphony. Your eyelids grow heavy with the stretch and rhythm of the day, each shift of stone setting a slow but entrancing cadence. So, let your mind wander the whispering hillsides as you drift towards slumber. Feel the ancient rocks beneath your hands, hear the quiet sigh of the land that time nearly forgot, and breathe deeply, finding harmony amidst the struggle. Rest assured, for your place here, though insignificant in the grand scheme, adds a layer of story to a wall that remembers all. As the days blur into each other, you become increasingly aware of the people around you, individuals from all walks of life drawn together by the monumental task at hand. This labor force is a kaleidoscope of humanity, each worker a unique thread in the tapestry of the Great Wall's history. You quickly learn that you are part of something vast and diverse, a sprawling mosaic of culture, skill, and circumstance. You wake to the call of a distant horn, its brassy note reaching out to gather the weary masses for another day's toll. Looking around, you see the faces of fellow travelers in this journey, motley crew of soldiers, peasants, and the unfortunate souls condemned to labor as punishment. Each face tells a story, a quiet testament to lives that would otherwise remain untold, now intersecting with yours, under the shadow of this colossal enterprise. The military presence is prominent. Soldiers who once defended territories now find themselves using strength in a different form, heaving stones rather than swinging swords. Their discipline and tactical minds offer a framework for organizing the chaotic energy of the labor, ensuring that each hand's movement contributes to the grand design. Such structure is crucial as it paves the way for a seemingly endless line of workers stretching back toward the horizon, each individual essential, each task a cog in the massive mechanism. Then there are the peasants, much like you, drafted from the far-reaching corners of the empire. Farmers, artisans, men and women who bring their tenacity and strength, honed by years of tilling the land and managing homes. Their knowledge of handiwork and resource management proves invaluable, shaping the rock and laying the mortar that binds the wall together. Among them are also the unfortunate criminals or political prisoners sentenced to work the wall as a penance for their supposed transgressions. These individuals bear invisible chains of resentment and despair, yet many find redemption in shared labors, the heavy stones and back-breaking work absolving past deeds through involuntary sacrifice. Historians still debate the exact number of workers who lost their lives during the wall's construction. While some estimates are in the tens of thousands, the truth remains obscured, lost to time and the unrelenting passage of history. Despite the diversity, there's a unifying force, an unspoken camaraderie born from shared burdens and mutual goals. In the few stolen moments of rest, you find yourself engaged in hushed conversations, peppered with snippets of different dialects or cacophony, that somehow comes together into an intelligible symphony. Clumsy jokes are exchanged about the Herculean task at hand, lightening the atmosphere if only for a moment. If the sky were as relentless as this job, we'd all wear the stars for shoes. It's humor born out of necessity, helping to dull the edges of reality. There's a shared appreciation tour, knowing nod of respect for those who display exceptional strength or cunning. The soldier who once saved a brother in arms now deftly moves stone with military precision. The farmer who could coax a single seed into a plentiful harvest can now find hidden solutions, crafting makeshift sleds to drag heavy boulders overland. Such ingenuity is necessary, for although the scale of this undertaking is overwhelming, it's the individual contributions that prop it up. Nights at camp, beneath the sparse canopy of tent and tree, are filled with the musings of what could be different talk of inventions and techniques that might ease the strain, dreams that lift spirits short miles from exhaustion. You find that you can share secrets with these strangers, moments of vulnerability in the wake of each exhaustive day. Tales spun around flickering fires weave a collective narrative, enriching the nightly chorus of snores, whispers, and gentle rustling of wind-bent grasses as the land sighs in restive surrender. In the gentle light before dawn, as the hum of life starts anew and shadows awaken from their slumberous stretch, you realize these people around you are not merely temporary companions, but forged links in a shared chain of survival against the odds. Here, in this place, you find both solitude in shared struggle and a sense of belonging, each individual a mirror reflecting a small part of yourself. As the many voices meld into one cohesive sound that lifts with the morning sun, so too flows the story of the Great Wall, one built stone by stone, heart by heart. As your eyes flutter closed, remember the strength found in unity, embracing sleep as a welcomed friend, each breath syncing with the earth's own ancient rhythm. As the first light of dawn spills over the landscape, revealing silhouettes of distant hills and the familiar form of the wall you're tasked with raising, thoughts of the day's grueling work dance sleepily in your mind. Among your worries is the arsenal of tools at your disposal, rudimentary, primitive devices that will test not only your physical strength, but also your capacity for innovation and ingenuity. Before you lie the modest array of instruments, each one telling a story of its own, whispered through calluses and worn handles. You pick up a simple wooden lever. Yes, it's nothing more than a sturdy branch shaped by countless hands before yours, but it represents the pinnacle of a system that's seen civil works stand for centuries. With it, you turn the massive stones that form the wall's back beneath small feet given their weight and your limited resources. The wheelbarrow, your next reliable companion, although basic and stark compared to modern views, reduces back-breaking labor into manageable loads. Historians still argue whether such tools, accompanied by sleds or rollers, were widely adopted during certain reigns or were simply reinvented across different dynasties, depending on local innovation. Yet, there's little debate about their impact. Their presence is unassailable, proof of humanity's persistent drive toward progress, no matter how small the step forward might seem. Nearby, hastily built scaffolding teeters precariously, each bundle of bamboo and braided rope convincing you, albeit hesitantly, of their strength able to bear both you and the stones you carry. The practical adjustments to these structures indicate the experienced touch of builders who've learned from the wall's lofty reaches and treacherous climbs. Even your own two hands, cracked and leathery from exposure, have become vital tools in their own right. They dart and weave like seasoned craftsmen, shifting stones into place with precision and care that surprises even yourself. The repetitive motions lull you into a meditative state, the stress of manual labor giving way to a subtle sense of belonging within a rhythmic pattern and extension of the land behind the wall and the destiny you're helping to craft. Humor occasionally sneaks its way into your day. You might share a laugh with a fellow worker wielding a spade with absurdly dramatic flair, pretending to be a noble warrior in some imaginary kingdom. Watch out, lest a dragon strike while I slay this stubborn rock. Such jokes, while perhaps juvenile, lighten the otherwise grueling atmosphere, reminding you that these strained muscles and trodden heels serve more than just your rulers. They are an affirmation of your spirit's endurance. Yet, this makeshift arsenal is not without its shortcomings. The wooden tools break, the ropes fray, the stones themselves defy order as they slip and cascade, occasionally scaring you with the close calls they bring. Each setback forces you to confront the limits of human creativity in an era where necessity shapes innovation. This gives rise to quietly brilliant moments witness, the laborer fabricating a makeshift pulley system from borrowed bits and pieces, or the clever reutilization of broken tool, handles as makeshift wedges to stabilize the quaking scaffolds. In the quiet of your bunk at day's end, these artifacts of your toil take on greater meaning. Surrounding relics of a bygone era, echo tales of hands long gone, and the tool marks left behind, growing into symbols of the struggle etched into the wall's very mortar. As your tired body yields to sleep, the image of these rudimentary instruments floats in your mind's eye like shadows on a moonlit night. They are agents in a saga stretching far beyond any one person's labor. They stand testament to collective ingenuity. In a place where luxury is as rare as ease, there's comfort in knowing your efforts, clumsy as they sometimes seem, are vital components fueling the ceaseless march toward legacy. Let these thoughts cradle you now, giving way to the gentle lull of slumber. Each tool, each stone, each heartbeat part of a pulse that resonates through time, merging with the gentle chorus of whispers from the ancient walls that form a barrier against oblivion. Feel the ebb and flow of history's breath as you drifting endlessly into a vast ocean of dreams. The sun casts its golden hue on the stones laid out before you, warming the cold surface of ambition embodied. As you shoulder another load in this seemingly never-ending saga, you find yourself pondering the minds that conjured such an audacious planthy emperors of old, whose grand ambitions propelled generations into ceaseless labor and meticulous construction. These emperors, most notably Qin Shi Huangdi, first emperor of a unified Qin, envisioned a boundary, not just to deter enemies, but to define the empire's reach, transcending the physical into the realm of symbol and spirit. You catch yourself wondering what drove them to such extremes of labor. Was it purely defense, or a desire to echo immortality in stone? Perhaps they sought to prove their divine mandate to rule, by undertaking what seemed impossible, a declaration of power set in mortar and will. This isn't a fairy tale, but the real consequence of ambition married to opportunity. Each emperor's vision grew with each reign, a testament reflected in the evolution of the wall itself. Picture paper plans rolled across grand tables, adorned with meticulous calculations and elaborate sketches. Imagine anguish and criticism, emerging from whispered corners as craning courtiers dared not condemn dreamlike aspirations. Despite this, stones were quarried, laid, and climbed over progressively harsher terrains with unwavering determination. Historians still argue whether these visions were shaped more by practical necessity or personal legacy. Mentions of diplomacy and trade mix with tales of warfare and isolation, the wall standing as a ceremonial line, a political frontier separating the known from the unknown. Was this endless expanse primarily a defensive bulwark, or a projection of an emperor's fear and desire for eternal remembrance? As you toil, the sensations of eavesdropping on forgotten echoes intensify, the labor becoming a physical reflection of competing desires nested within the walls themselves. Those who ruled from lofty palaces spoke with voices loud with conviction, yet often they were far removed from the hundreds of thousands toiling under harsh suns and in frigid winds. There's irony here. You imagine an emperor sitting beneath jade-lined eaves, surrounded by advisors, calculating the alignment of stars, seeking omens for prosperity and success. Meanwhile, down in the dust and mud, another rock is laid, another life hardens with experience unheard of in grandiose quarters. The division of experience broadens the plans are regal, the reality, ruggedly human. Nonetheless, there's an understanding that takes root in your mind, a respect for the vision that neither stone nor wind can readily diminish. Through your eyelids, closed moments from rest, you sense the invisible thread binding empire to individual, the echoes of dreams rendered in physical form far surpassing the lifetimes of those who dreamed them. Your thoughts turn to the other workers, accompanied by the shadow of such emperor-imposed duties. The camaraderie among your cohort reflects a shared fate, a narrative unspooling as fast as it can be voiced and constructed. Paradoxically, the wall in its steadfast permanence contrasts sharply with the ephemeral human element forging its length stride by stride. Such unity against the backdrop of grandeur leaves you pondering a singular truth. In completing the grand designs, you are all architects, humbled as much by the project's magnitude as by the aspirations entwined within it. The delicate wind stirs, pulling you gently into the embrace of night. The grand ambitions that summoned your toil now mirror the serenity of stars above faithful guides, both above and upon the earth. In the quietness of your resting space, you feel a kinship as ancient as the land which supports your labor, knowing that all dreams bear the essence of striving for remembrance, for connection. As you close your eyes, embrace this reflection, drawing comfort in the shelter of shared endeavor. Let each breath harmonize with the heartbeat of the wall, finding repose in shared undertakings that etch the desires of ages past into the bones of the land itself. Drift now into the timeless night, at peace with the notion that you, too, are a strand in the tapestry of humanity's undying dream. The morning light unfurls gently across the camp, casting long, lean shadows that stretch toward infinity. As you rise to greet another day, the hidden machinery that keeps this enormous venture moving starts to churn again. The wall's construction is not just about stone and labor. It's a story woven with the threads of logistics, the lifeblood sustaining thousands of laborers in the open, unyielding expanse. You quickly realize the complexity involved in simply making sure that every worker gets fed, clothed, and equipped daily. Rest assured, there's no magical cornucopia, where provisions spring forth unbidden. Instead, a network of supply chains extends like arteries through the imperial marvel of organization that defies the simplistic view often ascribed to ancient undertakings. Imagine caravans laden with grain and salted meat snaking their way across dusty roads, resilient beasts of burden tasked with transporting sustenance to distant outposts. In a society governed by cycle and season, these venerable animals are as important as any draft laborer. They shuffle dutifully behind patient handlers, each step a testament to the endurance required from every living element involved in sustaining the wall's creation. Historians still debate the precise methods of provisioning such a massive labor force. Did they stockpile goods at strategic locations, or rely on an ongoing supply from surrounding regions continually? Another question reverberates: how did leaders balance the need for food here with sustaining their homes and provinces? These mysteries, partly unraveled from unearthed ledgers and fractured accounts, paint a picture that is both rich and provocative. But supply is about more than just food. Imagine, if you will, the management of tools, clothing, medicine items rudimentary yet vital, cloaked in the dust of age-old practices. The humble needle and thread, small but incredible, transforms threadbare rags into something resembling uniformity and protection against the elements. The simplest efforts, like swapping a worn sandal for fresh shoes, becomes an understated triumph of necessity. Think about those tasked with maintaining this delicate equilibrium: the overseers, caravan drivers, and the unsung heroes seeing beyond the immediate horizon. Their life's work is reduced to a child's counting game, managing endless columns marching toward fulfillment. The laughter you hear at campfire might owe much to the ingenuity required just to oversee this massive coordination effort, a shared victory in the face of scarcity, further celebrated with sly smiles at small comforts. Amid this logistical ballet, you're afforded a brief glimpse of humanity's ingenuity. Someone somewhere concocts a salve to ease aching muscles, its scent a coveted treasure that dances on the chill air, bringing solace disguised as tradition. Elsewhere, warm broth shared among laughing comrades elevates spirits deflated by harsh winds and unyielding days, weaving a fabric of unity born of necessity. The occasional mishap, an overturned cart, a missing crate, turns into campfire tales. Did you hear about the chicken that outran its own dinner pot? Well, we never saw our lunch, but we got quite a show. Humor amid hardship colors, each corner of life here, sparkling relief drawn from darkness. These moments illuminate the intricate tapestry that sustains this endeavor, showing you that the wall is more than simply a stone defense. It's a living organism, reliant on each part functioning with symphonic synchronization. As raindrops merge, so too do cogs wheel into motion, sustaining each footfall, each heartbeat across the tapestry's length. And so, as evening gathers cloaked silence around the camp, you breathe the deep contentment of a day's work sustained by unseen hands supporting your efforts. Surrounded by whispers of the past echoing through rocks and skies, feel their gentle lull as you rest beside the silent hum of untold stories. Let the ghosts of these weary souls, laborers, overseers, and wandering traders cradle your tranquility, gifting you slumber beneath heaven's quiet arc. As you finally drift into sleep, let your dreams carry you above the frets and frays, borne on winds that whisper of logistics and sustenance, the heartbeat of human endeavor echoing through the ages. Rest, for tomorrow carries the promise and responsibility alike of humanity's swift resilience woven into the stones beneath your feet. The day is barely a whisper old when the familiar routine takes hold. You rise to the sounds of clattering tin cups and the murmurs of awakening workers, each face a reflection of the heavy nights and hopeful dawns. Your thoughts drift to what provides the true measure of endurance on this monumental journey, the living conditions that shape each day. You find yourself in a makeshift village, a sprawling assembly of tents and wooden shacks scattered like leaves on a pond. The living quarters, though modest, are expertly arranged around shared resources, forming a community united by shared goals and shared hardships. There's a reassuring predictability to the site. Rows of canvas shelters where you find fleeting refuge from the encroaching elements, a resting place crafted from necessity. As you step through the narrow passageways amid familiar faces, you're hit with a mixture of scent sweat begrudgingly mingled with wood smoke and the aroma of porridge boiling over shared cooking fires. These smells forge an unmistakable badge of identity, palpable links to the rugged life at the wall's edge. Daily life wears on with simple routines. Mornings spring from hurried breakfasts, meals that are humble yet hearty enough to stoke your stamina for the work that awaits. A bowl of millet and a jot of fermented bean curd bid you strength for the day's unyielding labor. Historians still debate the extent to which provisions varied from worker to worker, rank or status merit advantaged meals, or was egalitarianism the norm, born of necessity matched against tradition? These quarters, though temporary, become a pivotal backdrop to your story. Imagine a communal existence where personal belongings are few precious relics carried from homes left behind. It may be a small carved figurine, a lock of hair bound with red string, or a piece of lace tucked into a pocket. Each item is a talisman connecting you to simpler times, allowing hope to weave through your rugged days. Despite meager belongings, laughter is abundant, and shared stories paint the quarters with warmth. You exchange tales, each voice carrying ancestral memories, crafting vibrant narratives against ramshackle waltz and evening ritual that embraces camaraderie and cuts through the raw chill of night's approach. Remember the Crocodile-Dung Sunscreen mentioned earlier? Here, creative resourcefulness knows no boundaries. You'll see bandages spun from cloth too worn for wear, patched with medicinal herbs known only to the village healers who barter age-old remedies for even threadbare peace of mind. Yet these quarters can prove unforgiving testaments to survival's cost. Leaky roofs struggle against monsoon rains, while gusty winds seem bent on toppling the most steadfast of structures. Life here wears you down, chiseling skin and bone like the stones that form the wall, leaving the unmistakable mark of humans bent, but never broken. Even personal space takes on new meaning, as privacy becomes a luxury rarely afforded. Camps become a vivid constellation of life, where your whispered secrets and silent reflections intermingle with the world outside, mysterious yet universal. As the sun casts longer shadows, the quarters envelop you protective arms in peaceful repose, murmurs of nightfall settling in as kin. The gentle hum of voices wraps around you, a lullaby threading its way through the din, assuring you that while the body tires, the spirit holds steadfast. There's a beautiful irony in waking to hope renewed each dawn, despite the enormity of this task. Here, within these humble environs, live the seeds of perseverance, as tangible as the rock beneath you and the sky above. As you curl into your makeshift bed, let today's echoes lull you to rest. Feel the tender embrace of shared struggle, the peace granted through community and commiseration as you surrender to sleep. Allow the pulse of this place, bound within stone and song, to set your journey afloat upon the sea of dreams, guided by the stars woven above in timeless splendor. As the sun emerges, pulling the curtain on another dawn, the rhythm of life at the Great Wall resumes its relentless cadence. This morning feels almost electric, anticipation buzzing through the air, as you prepare to face yet another challenge that looms large. The brutal pace of construction that demands every ounce of your determination and grit. In the haze of first light, shadows elongate across the stonework you're slowly crafting into reality. The day's labor stretches out before you like a stubborn horizon, as daunting as the wall itself. With each new dawn arrives the same expectation: to push forward, to build higher, to lay more stones than the day before. This ceaseless grind is the true tyranny of time. Imagine the foreman's bark, punctuating the clatter of tools and the rhythmic thud of shovels, acting as an urgent metronome that binds the workforce to a singular goal. There's no room for delay, every moment accounted for, every action measured against the yardstick of progress. You find yourself part of a machine that never tires, each cog functioning in perfect synchronicity. The pace is nothing short of grueling. The work schedules are harsh, swayed by the seasons, but unsoftened by sentiment. Historians still argue whether these relentless drives were the result of stern imperial decrees or a collective motivation kindled by shared purpose. Whatever the reason, you can feel the pressure mounting with each ordered shout, the invisible weight of expectation heavier than the stones themselves. The day blurs into a cacophony of activity, footfalls kicking up dust, rivulets of sweat tracing paths down necks and arms, the sting of sunburn painting skin as the afternoon waxes hotter. All around you, laborers are locked in a ballet of coordinated effort, each action a small story of exhaustion pushing against the constraints of endurance. There's humor too, a sly, insistent companion woven through the hours. You overhear a fellow worker quip about the pace as he jests. If we keep this up, even the mighty tortoises will be asking us to slow down. The laughter that follows is a balm in the heat, a slice of humanity in mechanized motions. Even as cessation approaches, though brief, there's no denying the toll taken as calluses form in rebellion against unceasing tasks. You see the fatigue etched into the faces of your companions, lines deepening as history's imprint. The shared looks exchanged hint at volumes unsaid, silent acknowledgments of the brokenness that effort imposes on form and will. But there exists a strange allure in the brutality, a pull toward the unattainable that pushes you further each day. Perhaps it's the knowledge that your minuscule contribution will someday stand among the immovable marvels of human achievement, transcending beyond personal pain and into collective triumph. Against the backdrop of stark mountains and endless skies, your role, though small, feels larger than life. The bell signaling the shift's end tolls faintly like salvation, promised by soft, impending shadows. As you lay down your tools, physical and mental exhaustion intertwine, dropping upon you the weight of rest. Even now, surrounded by the hushed breaths of settling dust, there's solace in the fact that with each stone laid, you are building more than a mere wall. You're constructing a legacy, brick by tireless brick. As the campfire flames flicker more robustly against the twilight, sleep beckons with its gentle cadence, whispering promises beneath stars. You yield to its call, letting the scents of earth and smoke mingle with your last thoughts. Each inhalation fills your lungs with night's cool promise of rest. Each exhalation carries away the remnants of the sunlit struggle. In the embrace of night's peace, allow your body to freefall into surrender. Close your eyes, where dreams take the shape of ancient stones beneath your fingers, ushering in a quiet rebellion against limitation. Embrace the boundless sky, a calm witness to 1,000 tales of toil and triumph. Let your spirit find respite, secure in the knowledge that tomorrow's dawn holds anew the rhythm of persistence, a melody unwavering as the loyal earth beneath your feet. The tranquility of early morning is deceptively a soft veil over a land that teems with unseen perils. As you set out again, the natural world around the Great Wall of China waits, ever pulsing with life and danger. It's here, amid the relentless march of progress, that you're reminded the threats you face are not solely forged by human hands. The landscape offers its own challenges, a silent adversary that shapes and tests you at every turn. Imagine trudging along a precarious mountainside trail, each step an exercise in balance and caution. Beneath your feet, loose stones shift like treacherous whispers, threatening to send you tumbling into the abyss below. Here, the mountains demand respect, their imposing presence a stark reminder of nature's ancient power. As the morning fog lifts, a serene view unfolds rolling hills and dense forests stretching into the distance. But the serene facade conceals hazards. It's easy to lose oneself within the embrace of towering trees and tangled undergrowth. Historians still debate whether the wall's route was chosen for strategic military advantage or as an expedient path through areas less demanding to traverse and secure. Either way, its path is fraught with peril. The threat of landslides becomes a whispered fear. Heavy rains turn solid ground into a slippery slope, and you can almost feel the tension in the air as the earth groans under the weight of waterlogged soil. The collective intake of breath when boulders dislodge and crash downward is palpable. Even those briefly spared from labor by this turn of events can't help but feel the shared anxiety. The wilderness is alive with creatures that slink through shadows or soar overhead, some seen, many unseen. As myths and whispered tales abound, you listen closely to the quiet rustling, not just the breeze stirring leaves, but perhaps something more sinister lurking within. Local legends speak of wolves, and even creatures far stranger, their presence a shadowy threat, always just out of sight, weaving paranoia into the fabric of laborious days. Yet, something endearing exists here. Unassuming song of birds greeting the dawn, the steady hum of cicadas as the sun hits its zenith, tiny emissaries easing tension's edge with their simple harmonies. You catch yourself observing a butterfly flitting fearlessly through the crisp morning air, its bold flight a dance of defiance against serenity's imposing backdrop. But amidst the chaos, humor keeps you grounded. Watch for dragons in disguise. A fellow worker jests, pointing playfully at an old lizard sunning itself on a nearby rock. Everyone laughs, the relief of levity warming muscles and uplifting spirits faster than the sun spilling light across the terrain. There's camaraderie in story, and superstition a shared reverence for the mysterious forces woven through the world around you. The night echoes with tales spun around flickering campfires, invoking laughter, wonder, and the ever-present necessity of caution. As darkness descends, you greet the fading light with an awareness sharpened by whispers carried on the breeze, eyes attuned to every flickering shadow. With each passing day, you grow more attuned to nature's rhythms, a silent yet rowdy partner in the dance at the wall's edge. There's respect found in knowing every breath you take tastes of earth, every sound reminds of history, every step stands upon layers both visible and hidden. When dusk approaches, painting the sky with streaks of gold and violet, you settle once again into the encased quietude of the camp. The firelight dances in timeless fashion over faces lined with exhaustion and laughter, the weary glow of another day suffusing the air. As you lie beneath the speckled sky, the earth supporting your entire being, let the quiet power of this world cradle you into sleep. Feel the ancient pulse of these lands through your very bonus, a reassuring song woven through time, connecting you to all that has ever been and all that ever will be. So, surrender to the symphony of night, a gentle crescendo ushering your weary limbs into restful slumber. Within these lullabies, echo tales of mystery and life, whispered on the breath of winds through the rustling leaves, carrying you softly into the embrace of dreams, where the mountains watch and ensure your rest remains undisturbed. As the first rays of dawn break through the mist, they reveal the ever-evolving face of the Great Wall, stretching like a stone serpent along the ridges and valleys. This morning, like the countless ones before it, heralds a renewed wonder, the engineering marvel unfolding beneath your hands. Such vast structures, so intricately woven, continue to rise with a resolute will of their own, defying the ancient earth and all its challenges. The wall represents not just an immense endeavor, but a reflection of human achievement, ingenuity, and compromise. How limitations become canvases for innovation. As you stand amidst the stacks of stone and mortar, you see not just the raw materials, but the manifestation of dreams, the process of engineering translated into rock, clay, and mud. Imagine long lines of workers transporting stone blocks to the construction site, an orchestrated ballet of human and animal power, each movement critical to shaping the wall's formidable presence. The weighty boulders are shaped and fitted with a precision born from centuries of acquired skill, utilizing the simplest tools crafted from wood and iron, yet yielding astonishing accuracy. Historians still debate the techniques employed, whether sections relied predominantly on tamped earth, rammed tightly between wooden frames, or meticulously placed stone blocks. Some foundries at strategic locations might operate day and night, the rhythm of their endeavors echoing across the valleys like a heartbeat, steady and relentless. As you labor, the wall rises inch by tedious inch, its immensity felt not just in magnitude, but as a living, breathing entity. It's in the muttering of stone against stone, the clamor of men working in tandem with the land, seeking to harmonize human intention with natural course. The wall's path is a daring route, dictated by mountains and rivers, where every curve, every turn, leverages nature for defensive advantage. A humorous note weaves through your thoughts. There's irony in shaping such grand designs only to have them weathered by time, where simple stones transform into revered ruins. Future generations might wander here, imagination stoked by tales of impossibility made manifest, all leading back to you and the simple acts of lifting and laying each stone. Yet, practicality interlaces with legend, forming a foundation of need balanced against creativity. Water and clay mix with powdery soil, bearing witness to the ingenuity needed for overcoming geographical obstacles, a testament when bridges soar over ravines, daring in their construction and elegant in outcome. Supporting tunnels carve through obstinate rock, even as sentry towers punctuate the landscape like watchful guardians. In moments of respite, you find yourself marveling at the patterns of shadows cast by the rising structure, the subtle interplay of light and stone forming gentle mosaics at your feet. Despite the dawn's cold breath, there's warmth in the mortal memory that the wall maintains, a remembrance ingrained by human effort, steadfastly defying disappearance. Night falls once more, wrapping the land in a soft, shared silence. As you settle into rest, these stones so massive, so permanent seem to absorb and calm the day's exertions, lulling the soul with promises of endurance and protection. They whisper of dreams made solid, echoing across time's breadth. Let the constellations be your lamp as you close your eyes, carried backward through suspended centuries, where engineered hope met yesterday's despair, finding you here in the balance. Let the wall's magnificent shadow be your haven, where dreams become freedom's stone aloft on dreams shared with dreams past, anchored in slumber's sweet tide. Surrender, letting each modest act of creation guide you to a place of rest, embraced by the wisdom cradled silently within the stones. The crisp dawn air greets you, a refreshing reprieve that cloaks the land in a gentle cool. For a moment it seems like a respite, but as the day unfolds, the sun will again claim its territory. Each step toward the growing wall echoes with the silent threat of health risks that whisper their presence amidst the relentless progress. The construction site isn't just a testament to human willpower, it's also a crucible where health is a precious commodity, easily squandered. Amidst the symphony of labor, the air is alive with the clamor of tools on stone, yet beneath it flows a quieter undercurrent, the cough of a fellow worker, a subtle reminder of the dust clouding your world. Every inhalation carries particles disturbed by the day's activity, and with each breath, they settle within your lungs, forming invisible weight. Among the stones and mortar, this is your unseen standoff, fought alongside the chiseling work. Historians still argue about the measures taken, if any, to protect workers' health. Did ancient leaders recognize the risks associated with inhaling these tiny spectral irritants? Or was it merely an unseen enemy waged against in the pursuit of grandeur? Regardless, the evidence is all too real around you. Nowhere is the air as crisp. Nowhere does breathing come without the chase of dust's residue. The heat of the day further conspires, ushering in headaches and weariness beyond mere fatigue. Water becomes not just sustenance but a lifeline, the trickling measure of survival sipped from shared gourds passed like whispers among neighbors. Access to clean water is a constant concern. The careful management of this precious resource falls in line with every stone laid. And then there are the frequent injuries and unavoidable bedfellow to the band's ambition. Blisters bloom into rugged badges of ache across hands and feet, while the occasional wayward stone can render a man suddenly removed from the labor coil. You've watched such accidents unfold in slow motion, seen the fall of rock and heard its dreadful chorus as stone meets flesh. Yet, as calamity strikes, the call for assistance arrives almost unbidden, colleagues rallying swiftly, human hands extended in solidarity. There remains humor amidst adversity, a shared gallows laugh about ailments indicating the strength of spirit. Breathe in the dust long enough, friend, and you'll grow roots right here among us, quips one veteran wall builder whose hearty laugh, despite the hack in his throat, resonates a warmth untethered by trouble. Injury and disease invite ancient remedies, blending practicality with superstition. Healers move quietly between the rows, offering vines and roots that promise relief, their patients clutching poultices close. And while the air buzzes with skepticism, these braves among braves persist, bearing knowledge annotated by generations of trial, error, and sometimes blessed relief. As the merciless sun watches indifferent and unflinching, you pray for calm given breath and bone to endure. Hopeful rain becomes a double-edged cloud. The relief from heat finds unwanted company in fever's embrace, health dancing dangerously close to danger's ledge. As night draws near and shadows expand their gentle embrace across the camp, you find yourself once again grateful for the hushed intimacy of evening. The wall stands watch, long and sprawling, a tamer of wildness and time alike, enfolding your weary body amid its daycare for aspirations. As dreams begin their slow descent into your mind, let today's whispering echoes stream into silence. Let the peace found in imperfection carry you softly to dreams like gentle waves lapping at the stone shore. Feel nature's patient breath, finding solace in the calm that night held open just for you. A reminder that, alongside toil and struggle, lies refuge in the shared human spirit. And as stars resume their ancient watch, know that tomorrow breathes new life into aching hope, strong as mortar, unyielding as the strength within your soul. The sun is lazily rising once more, casting its pale light over the sprawling expanse of the wall, where whispers of unrest occasionally ripple through the camp. Beneath the routine clamor of work and the rhythmic placement of stones lurks a simmering tension. The weight of injustice borne by many here is palpable, a silent undercurrent beneath the surface of collective striving. You sense it in the hushed conversations that take place at the edges of campfires during the evening, where shadows dance on the ground like spectres of dissent. In this place, where the dreams of emperors stand tall, so too does the potential for rebellion, a human element that cannot be entirely buried beneath the stones. These moments of quiet resistance are as real as the calluses adorning the hands of every laborer. Revolts and rebellions have their roots in the grievances of those who feel the sting of inequity, those whose lives demand more than mere survival. Stories whisper of workers growing weary of exploitation, of hard-won labor yielding nothing but further oppression. News travels of groups who dare to defy, their bravery a spark that catches here and there amidst the wearing lives, threatening to ignite into something larger, more relentless. Historians still argue about the reach and frequency of these uprisings. Were they minor disruptions, quickly quashed by authority, or were wider revolts born of desperation, crafting momentary fissures in the mighty facade of empire? What is known is that where there exists a forceful yoke, there inevitably arrives a time when that force meets resistance. There are tales, too, painted in the colors of myth, about the mysterious disappearances of foremen or the sudden incapacitation of harsh overseers. Truth or fiction, these stories propagate around the fires like cherished tricks of magic, their laughter-laden deceit offering brief respite from the pressing malaise. Within this atmosphere, humor often shines brighter, a defense mechanism forged against hopelessness. You hear jesting about secret plans to uproot the wall and carry it home, brick by brick-own joke among many woven skillfully to dull the edges sharpened by exploitation. Once we finish here, perhaps we can build our own walls and bar the troubles of the world outside, chants a fellow worker, drawing chuckles from those within earshot. While laughter echoes, it cannot overshadow the whispered truths spoken in quieter moments. These murmurs gesture toward alliances formed, plans engineered amidst fragile dreams of freedom. Hope finds kinship in the hidden web of solidarity, binding the laborers by more than their chains of duty. Yet the powers that be stand ready, unyielding. Guards patrol the perimeter, remaining watchful, their eyes scanning the faces of those toiling, searching for the glint of rebellion. It is a tense equilibrium, a dance between authority and autonomy, each side tiptoeing along the precipice of disruption. For you, the choices are unclear but ever-present. Do you focus on the work, on the wall, and on the hope of seeing it rise into eternity? Or do you listen to the susurrus of resistance, considering how you fit within it? This indecision is an invisible weight, a constant companion, reminding you that in this vast undertaking, no decision is ever truly your own. As day wanes into night and the murmuring air settles into calm, you gather within the shared narratives of camp. The fires flicker, warding off the night's cool breath. Camaraderie is a precious commodity, celebrated in the quiet moments away from the eyes of watchkeepers. The wall stands sentinel, unyielding yet somehow alight with the human stories woven into its being. Drifting into sleep with the peace of darkness encasing you, permit your mind to wander. Allow the veil of dreams to descend, where even among imagined triumphs, disobedience finds its footing as hope. Here, in the quiet amidst stars spread on heaven's sheath, take refuge in the certainty that growth is not always visible, sometimes silently, rebelliously. It is sown beneath the surface of towering walls. Let history guide your slumber, carrying you sweetly adrift into the arms of night's gentle promise. The dawn spreads its tendrils of light across the ever-lengthening great wall, where every stone laid whispers tales beyond just defense and labor. As you gather once more amidst the morning bustle, you find yourself immersed not just in the chore of construction, but in the complex weave of cultural currents shaped by this monumental endeavor. Building the Great Wall is not merely an architectural feat, it's a crucible of cultural transformation, a process that shapes the identity of both individuals and the collective. As you work, beneath the gentle hum of daily tasks, a richer tapestry of interaction unfurls, where traditions and beliefs intermingle, born anew atop each newly laid stone. Alongside the laborers, artisans add their touch, infusing the work with motifs and symbols that speak of mysticism and reverence. You watch as ornate carvings adorn some sections, depicting creatures both mythical and real. The dragon, guardian of celestial waters, becomes a recurring presence, his sinuous form a protector weaving through the stones. Such artistry is more than decoration. It's an affirmation of identity, a visual symphony, proclaiming the wall as more than a mere boundary. Historians still debate the extent of cultural exchange facilitated by the wall's construction. Was it a conduit for ideas, traditions, and philosophies flowing between distant peoples, or was its primary function that of a barrier, both physical and cultural? Regardless, this grandeur embodies a convergence of human ingenuity, transcending isolating boundaries. Amid the toil, personal traditions persist, grounding you despite the distance from home. The humble festivals you celebrate, even in muted fashion, weave rich memories into the fabric of wall time. A stringed instrument sings through evening calm, its melody an echo of feasts and dances once held on fertile plains. Laughter finds its way into these gatherings, a shared language that bridges mouths speaking in different tongues. The camaraderie among workers forges new philosophies, blending local customs, speech, and wisdom into seamless arches of understanding spanning the lands. Everyone partakes of this cultural stew. Innovation finds birth at intersections, birthing customs tenderly carried forward, folding new traditions into lives temporarily uprooted. Humor, too, takes on new hues, as cultural idioms exchange their place. A laborer from a distant corner of the empire might quip with newfound jest, "We're building not just a wall, but the world's longest necklace, fit for the neck of giants." Such quips echo with shared amusement, delighting in the fusion of imagery as much as the enduring task. Even the passing of wisdom becomes embroidered into the stones. As seeds of wisdom are sown within daily dialogue, the wall becomes more than its physical self. It reflects collective learning, the exchange of ideas forged in the fires of necessity, sparked anew with each unique perspective. By evening, beneath the quiet, sprawling sky, you feel this cultural cauldron most keenly. It enriches the soul, lending a spotlight not just to human achievement, but to human connection across time. The wall, wide and watchful, serves as a testament to the breadth of life and community encapsulated within its shadows. As the day yields to dusk, drawn into the embrace of night, let the echoes of these shared stories cocoon you in warmth. Close your eyes beneath the tapestry's span, allowing the dreams of tomorrow to knit seamlessly from today's labors, interwoven with splashes of color and tradition. Trust in the stars for guidance, knowing your own cultural roots anchor you homeward, even as new experiences unfold with every breath inhaled among shared endeavors. Surrender gently into dreams, where each scene is a celebration of belonging, not within walls, but within souls, connected by the thread of shared humanity, alive in stone, story, and song. Find solace in the journey, where every sunrise resurrects your spirit, emboldened by the cultural chorus standing and breathing beside you. As the first tendrils of dawn stretch across the ancient land, the Great Wall re-emerges from the shadows, an unwavering sentinel against the silent sweep of time. Today, its resolute presence speaks of strength and vigilance, a boundary conceived to hold back the relentless tide of foreign threats lurking just beyond the horizon. As you collect yourself for another day, the winds carry murmurs of past invasions, whispered reminders of why you're here, toiling under the gaze of history. It's not just stone and mortar serving as deterrents, but also tales forged by blood and honor the wall standing tall, as a safeguard against nomadic tribes whose incursions once swept across the plains with devastating swiftness. The echoes of galloping hooves and clashing steel reverberate through the foundation, each stone a testament to the trials faced by those who protected the empire's integrity. Consider the expanse beyond a landscape of shifting alliances, evolving with every sunrise. Historians still debate the actual effectiveness of the wall as a military defense. Did it succeed in repelling invaders, or serve more as a symbol of strength, meant to dissuade mere thoughts of encroachment? Regardless, the wall's existence represents an intrinsic part of the strategy, shaping the lives and decisions of emperors and generals. As you labor, the distant hum of anecdote and lore reaches your ears, stories of warriors braving the elements, stationed atop watchtowers gazing intently at the unseen. These ancient sentinels became legends, their perseverance and sacrifice etched into the whispers of wind whipping against stone. The atmosphere thickens with the spectre of vigilant alertness, understandable when you consider the realities outside the border tribes, like the Xiongnu brimming with resourcefulness, honing their skills in steppe warfare amidst open expanses, their shadows stretching toward you with each passing sunset. Humor, strangely enough, finds its place even among such serious undercurrents. If the Xiongnu knew how hard we labored, they might just lend a hand. A fellow worker jests, eliciting laughter mingled with a touch of nervousness. Such humor is a shield in itself, providing levity amid solemn reflections, a bridge spanning fear and familiarity. And yet, the wall is more than a divide between them and us. It represents an interface, a point of interaction, albeit fraught and tense, between differing cultures. Traders and envoys traverse this line, exchanging not only goods, but ideas, philosophies, and dreams. These human connections, formed in shadowy corners of walls and checkpoints, carve legacies as significant as any skirmish or military maneuver. Even as you exert effort, the wall maintains its role as protector and unifier, no simple feat against the intricacies of regional dynamics. Generations continue to be shaped by its presence, regardless of their places upon or beyond it, a perpetual ripple echoing through time. As evening's gentle embrace descends, casting a veil over this brimming cauldron of action and anticipation, take solace in the haven built by diligence and determination. Close your eyes beneath the sky, trusting its vastness to hold the harmony of all history's turns. Within your dreams, let the pulse of humanity guide you more than a story of battles and barricades, but a tale of entwined destinies, crossing paths despite seemingly insurmountable barriers. Allow the stars to cradle your journey, knowing the dreams of today will craft tomorrow's reality. Let each breath linger while the night cradles your weary spirit, nurturing your hopes bathed under watchful walls and celestial canopy alike. As you rise with the morning light casting golden hues on the Great Wall's ancient stones, there's something special about today, a sense of discovery waiting just beneath the surface. While the wall itself is a monument of formidable strength, it also carries within its shadows a myriad of unexpected stories, intriguing anecdotes, and quirky tales that historians and archaeologists are still unearthing. Delving into the wall's enigmatic depths, you're reminded that this isn't merely a testament to military strategy or laboring strength. Beneath its rugged exterior lies a treasure trove of peculiar finds and captivating histories, hidden within its very bones and frequently unearthed by curious researchers. Imagine stumbling across a forgotten artifact, a faded scroll tucked within the crevice of two ancient stones, its fragile paper surprisingly intact, bearing tales and inventories of times long past. As you make your way along the wall, you can almost feel the weight of history pressing gently against your shoulders, whispering secrets carried through the centuries. The excavation sites nearby reveal odd yet poignant glimpses into the lives lived here, long forgotten but now unearthed, transformed into stories ready to be spun anew. There's humor hidden in these discoveries too, with each revealing a light-hearted nod to human creativity. Consider finding fragments of ancient playing pieces dropped long ago by soldiers seeking respite from endless watch duties, their leisure now a story renewed in every surprised chuckle. Historians cherish these quirks as much as any grand tale of conquest or defense. They debate how such personal touches reflect not only need and survival, but the souls who built this endlessly long wall, a physical weave entwined with laughter and life's simplicity amidst the oppressive task of construction. Picture the unique relics uncovered: an ornately carved comb, a tiny jade figurine small enough to fit in a palm, left worshipped or cherished. These objects paint vivid narratives. Were they tokens of love, currency in trade, or mere comfort against the encroaching isolation of architectural enormity? Legends whisper that some parts of the wall were reinforced with sticky rice mortar, a peculiar choice that leaves modern researchers marveling at ancient innovations. The whisper of rice grains loaned their durability to the wall, the oddity nurtured through time with endearing awe for the ingenuity of humankind against nature. As these stories flow through your thoughts, you gather around the evening fire, warmed by the memories of life buzzing between the bricks. The camp becomes an extension of the stories imbued within the stones, the laughter mirrored by the crackling flames as shadows dance and prance in rhythm with history's humor-flecked song. Lulled by the night, it's hard not to dream of further discoveries awaiting wayward explorers, treasures hiding in plain sight, eager to be narrators of forgotten tales. Each artifact rests as a symbol, a piece of humanity's creative drive where resilience and whimsy join hands across the arc of the horizon. When sleep beckons with tender insistence, let these musings carry you into a gentle embrace. Imagine a world still alive in each breath, every soft sigh that fills the canopy beneath which you lie. Dream, knowing that in every stone of the wall, nestled within each secret chamber, there resides a story patiently waiting for rebirth through dreams and discovery. Surrender to night's graceful pull, entrusting its gentle surges to carry you safely toward the dawn. Rest alongside those who came before their footsteps, engraved upon a lofty canvas, inspiring wonder as your own journey continues, buoyed by the beauty of unexpected and ever-welcoming tales. As dawn breaks over the jagged silhouette of the Great Wall, the stones glistening with morning dew, a complex narrative unfolds. Enclosed within its ancient spans are countless stories of human endeavor, one of which endures as an unresolved enigma question of the wall's completion date. Here lies a scholarly debate as enduring as the wall itself. When exactly did this marvel of human perseverance reach its terminus? Historians still argue over when the Great Wall, as we perceive it today, was finally completed. Its construction spanned multiple dynasties, each leaving its own mark, each extending and fortifying this mammoth structure. From the ambitious undertakings of the Warring States period to the sweeping renovations under the Ming dynasty, the wall represents a tapestry woven with the threads of numerous eras. As you make your way along the ancient stones, you find yourself pondering the layers of history that rest beneath your feet, a geological timeline of ambition and determination. Each section carries its own age, its own story of completion, reshaped by time and dynastic dictates, culminating in the mighty barrier that sprawls before you. The debate over the wall's completion is more than just a question of dates. It is an inquiry into the motivations, resources, and political will of each contributing period. Did the Qin dynasty truly envision the wall's grand potential, or was it mere fortification against more immediate threats? Did the Ming dynasty's bold refurbishments represent the culmination of generations, or simply another chapter in an endless saga? As you labor alongside fellow workers, these academic ponderings weave without distraction through the rhythm of your work, each stone placed a silent echo of those who toiled long before. Occasionally, you overhear your comrades discussing what it might feel like to stand at the wall's end, forever in speculation. It prompts a chuckle or two, a sense of wonder as eternal as the wall itself. Perhaps one day, when we reach the great beyond, the guardians will puzzle over our unfinished symphony. A friend jests, laughter threaded with hypothetical musings. In the quiet moments of your toil, you consider the logistics involved, how each stone had to be quarried, transported, and positioned with meticulous detail. The sheer magnitude of organization required boggles the mind, yet serves as testament to the human spirit's remarkable tenacity. Dynasties rose and fell, emperors dreaming grand visions that morphed into the wall's meandering path, an ode to ancient marvel and mystery. You might wonder if the wall's constant state of evolution is a reflection of humanity itself. It survives on the edge of unfinished, floating timelessly across landscapes where decisions shape futures yet to be realized. This renders the wall a work in progress, inevitably incomplete, yet suggesting continuity through eternal fluidity. As the sun begins to set, bathing the land in hues of amber and rust, thoughts of the wall's completion echo through your preparations for rest. You listen to stories spun by the firelight, a warming glow against darkly imagined scenes where ancient masons toil into infinity. When the night spreads its starlit blanket overhead, let history's questions be your companions, whispered softly alongside the imaginings of times never truly known. Contemplate the bitter and sweet uncertainty of unfinished tales, moments, both elusive and defining, cradled within the lulling cadence of cricket's anticipatory sing-song. Close your eyes, surrendering to slumber's gentle grasp, and drift through dreams of days unnumbered, layered like the wall's very stones. Assured that, in the embrace of time, whether finished or still unfolding, humanity's ever-receding horizon beckons exploration, offering solace and mystery with each breath and every gaze cast forward. The dawn breaks once again over the undulating stretch of the Great Wall, laughter drifting on the breeze as the camp stirs with life. Among these austere stones and the tales etched in weathered rock, people still find room for humor. It's part of the fabric of survival, an unwritten rule that endures as much as the physical barriers around you. Imagine the curious remedies and peculiar practices our predecessors swore by the quirks that define them as much as the serious obligations they carried. Take, for instance, the ancient art of skincare, an oddity buried in the annals of necessity. One can't help but chuckle at the tales of Crocodile-Dung Sunscreen, a relic of human ingenuity that defies sensibility. In those times, where the blazing sun robs the skin of its moisture and burns it raw, resourcefulness often led to bizarre solutions. The vivid image of such peculiar concoctions, done with daily devotions, never fails to ignite mirth among listeners gathered for respite. These practices speak to the lengths humanity will go to safeguard its survival, a testament to creativity employed even under duress. Historians still argue about which potions worked wonders and which were concocted in a moment of desperation. But the overarching theme remains the ingenuity hidden within even the most laughable traditions. We chuckle at these antics not merely for the absurdity, but for the connection they affirm a mirror of shared humanity across time's divide. As you work, the sun climbs higher, its rays relentless. Another worker nearby pulls a woven hat further down, a flimsy yet respected barrier against the scorching brilliance of midday. Someone quips, "Better this than a pyramid of dung on my head," and the camp erupts, laughter enveloping the laborious rhythm like a cooling breeze against sweat-soaked skin. It's these small moments of levity that cut through the routine, just as crucial as the stones you place with precision and care. Each smile, each exchanged joke, acts as a balm, soothing the sting of monotony and turning hardship into something eminently more bearable. No matter the era, humor acts as an essential lifeline, a salute to resilience in the face of tasked adversity. In quieter moments, stories of ancient remedies and magical charms float through the air, sometimes whispered under the hush of the stars, other times shared boisterously amid dust clouds stirred by the day's activity. There's mention of salves and tonics made from herbs that promise invulnerability or ward against spirits said to stalk the night. You're left to sift through the tales, discerning laughter from potential wisdom, each myth hiding a kernel of reflection born from necessity. And yet, despite the reverence and mockery alike, one lesson endures. Innovation often sprouts from the simplest need growing from the soil enriched by both practice and folly. Those who came before lay invisible on the path of trial, each step unearthing solutions or folly, both contributing to the lore woven beneath the effort. As the shadows lengthen and work ceases, laughter lingers even as fires flicker to life. The camaraderie nourishes more than mere relationships. It feeds the spirit, knits a temporary community touched by antiquity's whimsies. When you lie down, listening to the soft symphony of crickets welcoming the night, let the echoes of remote laughter guide you. Drift on its rhythm, tucking within the mantle of sleep. Remember these anecdotes, these whimsical connections that bind your shared story amidst the multitude. Let dreams cradle you as the stars circle overhead, carrying echoes of ridiculous but endearing customs, weaving humor and humanity into your very being. As the walls cradle your journey, find solace in the secret that even in the most arduous of tasks, light-hearted resilience grants depth to adventure, forming landscapes vibrant with laughter, promising discovery beyond imagination. As the world awakens once more beneath a blossoming dawn, it's not just the stones of the Great Wall that capture your attention, but the hidden stories of those who labored here, notably the women whose contributions often remain untold. The air is thick with the hum of activity, an unending cycle of effort and perseverance that women know all too well, a testament to their often overlooked yet indispensable role. From the outset, you sense the significance that women have played, though their presence is subtly background rhythm in the orchestra of construction and survival. They are the unseen architects of domestic life within the camp, essential threads in the fabric that holds this vast enterprise together. Though history may attempt to relegate their duties to the periphery, their work proves as critical as their male counterparts, each role amplifying the spirit of communal endurance. Imagine them rising before dawn, as the fires they tend send plumes into the waking sky. Their tasks are unending, extending beyond the visible labor of carrying water, preparing meals, and mending clothes, to the crucial nurturing of morale. Women become the custodians of comfort amidst challenging circumstances, their hands weaving threads of stability within the chaos. It's debated among historians how involved women were in directly constructing the wall. Did they lay stones alongside the men, or were their roles confined to maintaining the camp? Whatever the case, their influence is stitched into the narrative, supporting varied facets of construction, whether through the direct craft of textiles or the indirect strengthening of community bonds. One story, whispered among workers, speaks of a lone woman who carved a small niche within the wall, placing there an amulet imbued with luck and blessings. Such legends, whether fact or fancy, reflect the unseen influence women exerted through quiet resilience, their spiritual presence interlacing with the toil, providing invisible protection as tangible as the wall itself. Humor, as always, effortlessly finds its place within this narrative. Should the wall lose a stone when its women's demand for dinner break? A worker quips, eliciting laughter and knowing smiles. Whether through jest or genuine respect, these interactions unfold against the backdrop of rigorous labor, acknowledging an interconnected strength that elevates the collective resolve. Amid the hustle of changing seasons, women also observe quieter rituals, carrying forth traditions that provide a semblance of continuity amid transience. The simple act of wearing a familiar piece of jewelry, a token from home, or a whispered prayer, adds layers to their lived experience, a heart tenderly tended within an unyielding environment. As evening approaches, fireside tales continue, where once hidden contributions come to light, illustrating how every hand, regardless of gender, has shaped the wall's enduring legacy. Like seams crucial to bone and joint, these often concealed acts support the stories told, gilding them with whispers of strength and sass alike. As sleep beckons once more, let the subtle harmony of women's roles guide you into dreams. The comforting aroma of stews simmering over shared fires, the gentle laugh shared between generations. Picture the wall not just as a structure of stone, but as a living boon, strengthened by everyone who touched its enduring length. Let your spirit wander through dreams where roles converge and blur, drawing strength from the constellation of stars lighting up the worn heights. Allow the night's lull to sway you gently into repose, encircled by the heartbeat of a time where balance was occasionally unkept, but never unnoticed. As slumber enfolds you, let this awareness of shared history roll beneath closed eyelids, guiding your journey through a fabric threaded as much by strength and humor as by brick and mortar. May each whisper of those who came before dance through the tapestry of your rest, drawing you closer to the heart of a world built by the contributions both large and small of all souls united along the wall's ageless span. Morning light unfurls once again over the ancient landscape, the great wall standing like a celestial ribbon winding through the earth's mysteries. As you set about today's endeavors, a different kind of marvel catches your imagination, the role of celestial practices and beliefs that align the wall with the stars above. Amidst your labor, you frequently notice the artisans and scholars, heads tilted heavenward, using the expanse of the heavens as a guide. China's rich astronomical traditions play a crucial part, weaving the cosmos into the earthly realm. The alignment of certain sections with the stars isn't just coincidence, but an intentional practice imbued with profound meaning. It brings an ethereal aspect to your work, merging the temporal with the eternal, and suggesting that the wall stands as a bridge between earth and sky. There's beauty and mystery in the notion that celestial bodies dictated more than fate, they defined architectural ambition. As you lay another stone, consider these alignments not simply as strategic, but deeply spiritual, each angled purposefully to capture heaven's gaze. These celestial configurations echo through the stones, epitomizing humanity's desire to connect with stars, skies, and the forces beyond understanding. Historians still debate whether the wall's alignment with various celestial phenomena was consistently deliberate across all its dynastic constructions, or if such occurrences were serendipitous coincidences that later invited mystical interpretations. Regardless, the intrigue woven into these alignments continues to inspire awe. Quip and query alike often revolve around this cosmic aspect. Perhaps the stars hold the plans for our next architectural feat. One worker suggests with a grin, eliciting thoughtful nods amidst the smiles. Yet, these beliefs offer more than whimsy. They provide a poignant connection to cycles of life beyond immediate perception, binding collective destiny with the celestial dance. As you labor, a profound respect deepens though human hands crafted the wall. Ambition and purpose found expression under the eternal watch of the cosmic expanse. Even as you rest, these thoughts hover like constellations dancing behind closed eyes. The idea that ancient constructors consulted star maps offers a sense of order to the otherwise chaotic undertaking. Navigation through seasons may have used the stars as both compass and calendar, prompting action beneath the skies, wiser and older than humanity's grasp. The interplay between stone and starlight strengthens the allure of the wall, which carries whispers of astrologers who charted the skies, their charts guiding emperors seeking mandates among heavenly signs. It is a comfort to think the stars, impartial observers, welcomed each challenge and triumph, etching narratives as ancient and far-reaching as the wall itself. As evening unveils the constellations, each celestial guide emerges from its velveteen cocoon, dancing patterns into the night's tapestry. Firelit stories venture into realms where stars converse in silent counsel with those who built their dreams into reality, affirming life's rhythmic loop anchored through space and time. When sleep calls, let the wall's cosmic ties soothe you. Picture yourself not just beneath towering stone, but amidst celestial blueprints, your journey a harmony interleaving human endeavor with starbound wisdom. Let the clarity of celestial fires illuminate your path into the night's soft embrace. Find rest within this cosmic symphony, each breath aligned with the untold wisdom overhead. Reclaim peace in the knowledge of creation, both human and divine. With dreams carried on the wings of starlit winds into tomorrow's unfolding possibilities. Let mystical connections bind your dreams, allowing the wall's eternal vigil to guide and awaken your spirit beneath its stone-bound promise reaching out toward the infinite sky. As the sun peaks over the horizon, the immense expanse of the Great Wall stretches and yawns into life, breathing in the cool of the morning. Today, you find yourself contemplating a less visible, yet significant aspect of this monumental structure, its impact on the environment surrounding it. The wall stands as both a testament to human achievement and an indelible mark upon the natural world. Just as the labor has etched calluses into your hands, so too has the wall inscribed itself into the landscape. In the haste and ambition of construction, the natural world bore witness to significant alterations. Hills were reshaped, forests cleared, and valleys filled, each change leaving its imprint on the earth's tapestry. As you labor, this theme of transformation surrounds you, a constant companion in the conversation between human ambition and nature's whisper. Historians still debate the true extent of these transformations and their consequences. Some argue that the wall's construction led to deforestation in certain areas, altering ecosystems and displacing wildlife, while others see the wall as an element blending seamlessly into its surroundings over time. Whatever the case, the wall exemplifies the age-old struggle between human aspiration and environmental equilibrium. You imagine the engineers and workers of old predicting natural obstructions with the precision of flowing water, adjusting plans to contour the landscape, sometimes with harmony, sometimes through sheer force. Each decision marks a duality proof of human ingenuity and a reminder of nature's resilience. At times, the wall's path follows ridgelines and waterways, as if echoing nature's own patterns, a testament to the wisdom entwined in bending ambition to nature's rhythm. There's a quirky irony in how your fellow laborers jest about the natural encroachment. Perhaps we build faster than nature can complain. A cheerful voice rings out, a jest evoking laughter in the face of the relentless greenery, reclaiming what was once disturbed. Nature's quiet persistence brings a chuckle, yet also a reflection on the cycle of give and take, that underlies this grand human endeavor. While stones and mortar have long outlasted generations, the environment remains a living tapestry woven through them. Consider the wildlife adapting to changes wrought by your hands, birds nesting within crevices, creatures burrowing at the wall's base. Each life form attests to adaptability and survival, narratives alongside your own etched into this ancient monument. Even within the boundaries enforced by human ambition, the environment exhibits a quiet dignity, resilient and transformative. As you lay one stone upon another, nature bends and shifts, accommodating the weight, embracing the structure as its own over centuries. Within this embrace, new ecosystems emerge, an interplay of stone and soil so captivating, it almost demands pause and reflection. As shadows lengthen, and the day bows out gracefully, you ponder these stories sheltering beneath the stars. Your work is but a single chapter in a sprawling epic that encompasses both the earth-based toil and the silent witness of the world around. Settle into the rustling night, warmed by the persistent hum of nature that never truly rests. When dreams beckon with gentle insistence, allow the wall's quiet conversations to guide you. Imagine the harmony of coexistence, the delicate dance between humanity and nature that breathes life into both. Find your own place within this symphony, voices and whispers merging into restful melodies. Surrender to sleep's embrace, the stars casting their cover, while dreams reflect the harmonious echoes of nature's eternal accompaniment. Drift into dreams with the serenity of knowing that both your labor and the shadows it casts are threads within the broader weave of life, a luxurious patchwork that enfolds nature and aspiration with each stone laying across the ancient land. As the sun once again rises over the ancient expanse of the Great Wall, a different sort of narrative threads its way through the stones you tirelessly labor to lay on of shadows, whispers, and unseen movements. It is here in the nooks and crannies of this formidable structure that the vital role of spies and sentries quietly persists, veiled within the folds of history. Today, you find yourself amid the stories and legends of clandestine activities that wove their way through these walls. The wall, while a mighty defense against external threats, has also been a silent witness to secrets exchanged, an improbable theater of espionage that once played out against its massive backdrop. Historians still argue over the extent and intricacies of the covert operations that unfolded along the wall's expanse. Was it primarily a barrier? Or did it nourish a network of spies and saboteurs weaving through its length, passing along whispers as potent as any weapon? Amidst the cacophony of workers, soldiers, and townsfolk, it's easy to imagine cryptic messages hidden within the stones, a more shadowy counterpart to the wall's grand presence. As you work, you can't help but ponder the silent struggles that accompanied past guardians who stood like hawks, ever vigilant against the unseen enemy. It is within these gaps, between what is seen and what goes unspoken, where the intrigue of such an intertwined life unfurls like a darkly epistolary narrative. The wall stands not as a passive guardian, but as an active participant in a more obscure, denser, timeless battleground, where the struggle for information held equal weight to the fierce power of stone and iron. Consider the sentries stationed among the heights, their watchful eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of movement. These intrepid souls were not simply defensive. They were keepers of secrets, exchanging signals that twinkled like stars in the night. The signals' brief flashes of light, coded flags gesturing crisply in the wind, smoke rising from watchtower to watchtower, formed a clandestine language all their own. And within this vigilant watch came the inevitable shadow spies slipping through the night, their feet nimbly picking paths along unguarded portions, bearing messages that might turn the tide of war or sow discord within the ranks. They move like echoes, ever elusive, their actions blurring the line between legend and reality, something more hinted than witnessed. Amid these tales, humor sneaks in a playful relief among the solemnity. Keep your eyes peeled for the night pigeons, they carry more than feathers, one worker suggests with a chuckle, knowing laughter weaving through the ranks. Whether through jest or genuine cunning, these stories remind you of the layered realities that cloak such endeavors. These whispers of espionage, though often overshadowed by grandeur, add dimensions to the wall's history. They serve as reminders that beyond its formidable efficacy as a structure of defense lies a network of connections, some tangible, others spirited into being by sheer will and necessity. The wall stands as both silent witness and active participant in the ever-unfolding drama between genius and guile. As night falls once more, enveloping you in its gentle embrace, let the echoes of these storied shadows guide you into rest. Close your eyes beneath the stars, where covert legacies align with your dreams, a complex dance of light and dark within the canvas of time. Surrender to the depth of sleep, where centuries and secrets unwind among the recognitions and betrayals of slumber. Feel the gentle thrum of history vibrating through the stones, a symphony of intrigue whispering lullabies against the still night. Allow your dreams to fold you within their grasp, nurtured by the invisible stories woven into the wall's timeless vigil and accompaniment to both whispered truths and unbounded imagination. As dawn unfurls its gentle fingers across the familiar breadth of the Great Wall, the endless stones seem to whisper stories untold, underscoring the endurance of legends that transcend time. The wall itself stands as a testament to the stories born from its vast history, some rooted in fact, others drifting into the realm of myth, all of them contributing to its complex narrative. You find yourself pondering these legends, carried across generations like echoes through the hills, weaving tales that shape both understanding and imagination alike. Each facet of the wall holds stories that ripple through time, transforming the stones into more than mere fortifications, but into a tapestry of shared memory and myth. Amidst the toil and rigor of construction, stories flutter like leaves caught in the wind, a symphony, accompanied by the rhythmic clang of hammers and the scratch of tools against stone. These legends serve as a bridge between the past and present, inviting you into a world where truth and fiction dance with equal vigor. Among the most enduring stories is that of Meng Jiangnu, a tale as poignant as it is powerful. Her legend tells of a woman whose tears, shed in grief for her lost husband, brought down a section of the wall, revealing his buried remains. It's a story whispered between workers during moments of rest, a fable of love and loss echoing through human experience, whether or not the ground beneath you bears its truth. Historians have long debated the origins and interpretations of such stories. Are they cautionary tales, born to warn of the wall's harsh sacrifices, or simply allegories woven to connect humanity's endurance to the stones they laboriously lay? Regardless, Meng Jiangnu's tale finds a place among the hearts of those who toil here, a reminder of the human spirit nestled within stone. As you work, the rhythm of your labor becomes a backdrop against yet more legend tales of soldiers transformed into dragons, or walls cursed to fall when arrogance ruled. These stories serve as both entertainment and moral compass, their presence woven into the fabric of your day. Humor finds a home amidst these living myths, a reminder that legends often mirror the quirks of humanity. Perhaps one day they'll tell of workers who built the wall while juggling flaming loots. A fellow worker quips, laughter bubbling up like a stream beneath the well-worn stones. These tales, whether whimsical or solemn, form a rich tapestry, humanizing the mighty wall while nurturing the spirits of those who serve it. As dusk gathers around you and the stones grow silent, you find solace in these narratives, their truths whispered just beneath the surface, yet their impact echoing through your thoughts. The wall, in all its storied immensity, becomes a keeper of legends, long discussions, and the unending cycle of human dreams. When sleep calls, allow the timeless rhythm of these legends to guide you towards rest. Imagine the interplay between history and imagination, each story told around shrinking fires, drifting quietly across time. Close your eyes, letting the weight of these narratives cradle you into the embrace of dreams. Travel through dreams where myths breathe alongside stone, where every tale holds a place among the stars. As you drift into slumber's warm embrace, feel the embrace of the Walla, protector of stories, a symbol of endurance. Let these legendary echoes lull you to sleep, reassured by the power of dreams captured and cherished within history's dialogue, stretching endlessly toward tomorrow's light. As the morning sun ignites the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the Great Wall rises not only as an ancient sentinel, but also as a modern marvelone that draws curious minds and wanderers from across the globe. Today, you find yourself contemplating the reflection of the wall in contemporary time. Show the world now views, preserves, and interacts with this ancient wonder. In the soft glow of dawn, the wall remains both a relic of historical ambition and a symbol of enduring legacy. It stands as a testament to mankind's monumental capacity for construction, a reminder of human history's reach. Yet, its stones are no longer mere components of a bygone defense. They are gateways to education, inspiration, and a bridge between past and present. Modern reflections upon the wall are woven with efforts to conserve its grandeur, acknowledging both its historical importance and cultural value. Efforts stretch globally, with historians, archaeologists, and conservationists collaborating to preserve not just the structure, but the stories it holds, censuring that this enduring symbol maintains its magnificence for generations yet to come. Visitors tread softly upon its ancient stones, their footsteps mingling with whispers from bygone eras. The wall stands as more than a historical artifact. It has become an educational site, where people of all ages gather to learn about the grand enterprise of construction and the human spirit that conceived it. Each section tells its own tale, inviting exploration and discovery. Historians still debate how best to balance tourism with preservation and ongoing dialogue about maintaining the integrity of this architectural wonder while making its beauty and lessons accessible to all. There is an understanding that as the world shifts, this wonder must be protected not just for its past, but for its place in our shared human experience. Humor gently winds its way through these discussions as visitors marvel at the wall's expanse, some jesting that it's merely a grand backdrop for selfies, a modern twist on ancient purpose. Others laugh, imagining the builders of old viewing modern technology with awe, joking about using drones to carry stones to the highest towers. Even within these jests lies acknowledgement of respect, woven with wonder for our resilient spaces and shared stories. The wall, now a cultural bridge, invites reflection and connection, where each visitor becomes a part of its evolving narrative. As you stand amidst these sacred stones, you're reminded of the unity and diversity, the universal threads that weave together distinct cultures and histories through a single, monumental structure. As night descends, casting a cloak of stars over the wall, you find comfort in the continuity it represents, the seamless flow of time connecting past lessons with future hopes. Here, amidst the echoes of conversations past and present, you discover your place within this shared journey. When sleep beckons, allow the serenity of the wall's enduring presence to carry you softly into rest. Envision a world where history celebrates progress, where stories from every corner of the globe unite in a spectacular dance across timely celebration of life's beauty and the endless journey of learning. Close your eyes and drift into dreams filled with history's whispering quiet amongst windswept stones. Wrapped in the protective embrace of stories from the past, whispering into tomorrow, find tranquility in knowing that this ancient marvel continues to inspire and shape the heartbeats of all who wander its path, forever standing as a guardian of heritage and hope. As the first light of dawn grazes the rugged stones of the Great Wall, you find your thoughts tangled in the lessons its towering presence imparts. The wall isn't just a relic of the past. It is a timeless teacher, imparting wisdom to this day, encouraging reflection on its relevance in modern times and what contemporary society might glean from such an extraordinary feat. In the hustle of daytime's beginning, the wall remains a steadfast reminder of human ambition and collaborative effort, the epitome of what can be achieved when vision meets perseverance. From its construction, there emerges a chorus of lessons about unity, strategy, and the interplay of human will with nature's formidable elements. Marvel at its engineering as each stone, with precise placement and enduring strength, showcases the harmony between creativity and practicality. Modern thought often drifts to the potential innovations inspired by such historical ingenuity, a gentle nudge towards sustainable practices and infrastructure that respect both the blueprint of the ancients and the demands of contemporary existence. Reflecting on the wall, you ponder what it means for the world today to build more than spaces linking cultures, societies, and nations through metaphorical bridges. It becomes evident that the spirit of collaboration and shared objective that guided its building resonates deeply within current endeavors, striving for global unity and cooperation. Yet, discussions linger amongst historians and environmentalists regarding the balance between development and conservation, echoes of old lessons whispering through the discourse of progress. How can the stewardship of invaluable cultural currencies be managed while advancing toward collective goals? These are not challenges new to humanity, but continuations of ancient conversations where each stone placed connects to intent. There's humor in reflecting how the world today might handle such a mammoth project, with an army of engineers armed with CAD software, smart tools, and vast construction crews. Jokingly, you can hear a fellow ponder whether today's workforce could match the endurance displayed with traditional spades and the edge of human grit. Perhaps the most poignant teaching from the wall is the realization that great challenges require both foresight and hindsight. In the shadows it casts, it invites a mindfulness about weighing immediate pressures against potential futures, offering perennial reflections about the breadth of vision required to marry wonder with responsibility. As the sun arcs across the sky, you find yourself immersed in these thoughts, surrounded by a living tapestry of past endeavor and present contemplationa, harmony of stones singing across the ages, resounding in today's modern halls and streets, informing decisions with echoes of patience, precision, and resilience. As dusk falls with its gentle sweep, enveloping the world in a twilight embrace, grant yourself permission to unwind within these echoes, knowing tomorrow's light yet promises the continuity of reflection. Consider how this understanding nurtures connection, fostering compassion for both bygone generations and those yet to walk ancient paths anew. When you surrender to sleep, let the symphony of wisdom churn from ancient bricks guide you. Picture lessons intermixed with dreams, illuminating pathways leading through history's corridors to tomorrow's promises, forming a sanctum of enduring solace and inherent hope. In dreams, find yourself an architect not only of structures, but of aspirations and futures, where each lesson is a cornerstone, upholding what is yet to be imagined. As stars etch their familiar patterns across the night's tapestry, recline gracefully into rest, assured that the stories captured within are chapters poised to define new legacies reaching into the dawn. As the final dawn unfurls over the majestic stretch of the Great Wall, you find yourself immersed in the profound silence of morning, a quiet reflection of journeys past and hopes yet to come. The air is still, and there's a comforting warmth despite the chiller whisper of tranquility that envelops your spirit as you embark on the last leg of this timeless voyage. Throughout the narrative of the wall, you've traced the echoes of its story across the undulating landscapes and through the shifting tapestry of time. The lessons learned, the challenges faced, and the stories shared have woven a rich, intricate mosaic that stretches seamlessly into the present moment. Pause now and honor the indomitable human spirit that fueled this extraordinary endeavor. The stones beneath your feet reverberate with the pulse of generations, each one carrying tales of bravery, sacrifice, and the intimate bond between humanity and the lands they shape. Even as you rest, the wall stands as a sentinel, watching over the past while embracing the future, an eternal flame lighting the crossroads of history. Imagine yourself standing upon one of its highest towers, the world unfolding before you, and the horizons stretching endlessly. The scene is fraught with potential, a metaphorical reminder that the journey on this path, like life itself, is eternal, unbounded by time and place. Feel the weight of the breeze upon your skin, carrying whispers of stories yet to be told, of dreams yet to be dreamt. With each breath, you draw in the timeless echoes embraced within these stones, allowing them to resonate within you. The wall speaks in the language of persistence and creativity, inviting you to create your own narrative amidst the rich tradition of collective memory it holds so dear. Now, as night gently spreads its velvet cloak, adorned with radiant stars, cherish the serenity that envelops you. Let yourself be cradled by the profound rest that follows after a worthy journey, knowing that the wall will continue its eternal vigil anchored in time and steadfast in purpose. Let your breath slowly synchronize with the rhythm of the universe, allowing your mind to quiet as sleep descends with tender grace. Feel your body relax, each thought gently unfurling into pieces of a dream, an ever-unfolding story that cradles you into the night. Allow your dreams to be guided by the luminaries of centuries past. Gentle reminder that you, too, are a vital part of this magnificent whole. Drift now into the depths of slumber, where echoes of the wall's majestic tale merge seamlessly with the intricate narrative of your own. And as the gentle hum of history mingles with the rustle of evening winds, let sleep carry you into a realm where imagination flows free, cradling your tired form in the peaceful embrace of night. Tomorrow awaits, a new dawn poised for discovery and wonder. As you float softly into the sanctuary of dreams, remember that you are enveloped by the whispers of those who tread these paths long before and those who someday will follow. Rest well, kind dreamer, and allow your spirit the gentle freedom to wander and soar. Sweet dreams.